G'day everyone. I know you probably find these tedious, but you don't sit and read these documents, do you? You've never gone to find these documents or read them, so sucks to be you that it's me who's going to cover it for you, and you may think it tedious. Think it lucky that I've just skimmed these things and given you a brief. And trust me, you really don't want to be stuck reading this shit. What is this shit we're talking about? Well, we're at part 4 of, and the final one, of the NUS National Conference Policy 2017. Now, this is the policy sheet from the National Conference of the National Union of Students in Australia. These are the policies that came from the floor to be given to the committee to be implemented or tossed over. I'm guessing most of it, they toss over it, and I mean that as in masturbate, and then pat themselves on the back for having done a good job and ignore most of it. I fucking hope so anyway. But the fact that this shit comes from their conference's floor gives you some idea of where the student union's mind is. And some of these things have led to direct action, as in the stuff against Milo and Cassie J, and other figures that have been mentioned in this one. And if you haven't seen that, there are 3 parts before this one. You can be bored shitless listening to those, but, you know, it's background listening. Now, the reason we're here is mentioned in the other videos, but I'm going to do it again because I'm just that way. If I can get this thing to respond. Hello. Oh, bloody hell. You know it's not going to respond, don't you? Here we go. And it responded by jumping miles ahead. Yeah, because the National Union of Students, regardless of what comes off this factory floor that they've got, they have a department for administration, unionism, education, welfare, women's, queer, LGBTQA, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders, disabilities, international, ethno-cultural, small and regional, and miscellaneous, whatever that is. But do you see any men, boys, anything in there? Nothing? Nothing? But they've gone to a lot of effort to really single out these other things. So, yeah, that's what initially drew me to reading the document. I dived to women's directly, and then wasn't going to cover queer, but we've ended up there because it's just such a shocker. Having told you all that, I've led you in. Let's go to where we were. If you didn't watch the other ones, you won't know, and sucks to be you. This bit here was about the Milo, and that's where we finished up in the last video. Okay. Queer LGBT whatevers 716 overturned the gay panic defence in South Australia. South Australia is now the only state in the country gay defence where charge of murder can be downgraded to manslaughter. Now, I have to believe that the gay panic defence law is akin to defending yourself when you're being raped. And yeah, I'm saying it. If you're not honest with someone, if you're not upfront, because this is feminist theory. This is pure and utter feminist theory until it comes to trans people. Then the rules change. But if you are not upfront and honest to somebody about what they are going to get when they have sexual interaction with you, then anything you do to them that's outside what their expectation is according to feminist theory, rape. So this is essentially a defense of rape, where you could kill somebody and have that charge not be put through as murder, but as manslaughter, as a self-defense charge. We don't actually allow self-defense, to killing in self-defense in Australia. So what you can end up with is manslaughter. It's a much smaller, lighter sentence because it's not premeditated. Medicated? I don't know where that came from. You don't pre-arrange. It's no pre-arrangement in it. No thought about it. Murder is a crime that's committed in the cold of day, and manslaughter is a crime committed in the heat of the moment. Now, I don't know that we need this as a gay defence law. I'm quite happy to have this as a just defence law. If you are defending yourself against anybody in any situation which you perceive to be threatening in the manner of homicide or murder, and rape is prosecuted at that level, so rape would be easily included in that, then if someone's about to murder you or rape you, you should be allowed to defend yourself. You shouldn't go to the point of killing somebody. That can always be construed as going a step too far. But should you accidentally kill somebody, then manslaughter seems a fair thing to claim. And I'm only arguing this from the feminist perspective. This whole argument that I've put forward is the feminist perspective. If a woman killed a man because he was about to put his penis in her ass and she hadn't said yes to that, they would think that was a justifiable reason for killing him accidentally. Right? You put the hammer through his head after you rolled over and picked it up off the floor where you'd left it beside the bed, and you slammed it into his head, and you accidentally killed him with it. Oops, my bad. And that would be manslaughter. That would be the feminist war cry. Well, I'm making that war cry for straight men who may get trapped into sex with somebody with a penis. It's exactly the same problem. It is not fully disclosing what is going to happen before it happens. So yeah, I'm not for gay panic as a defence. I am for self-defence as a defence. And self-defence from rape is a serious thing to be defending against. The NUS recognises the gay panic defence as a homophobic law. Well, penned that way it is. Penned that way technically it is. But I think under the circumstances, this means the fact that this is being tried in this way means the person was in fact afraid of the other person, of the homosexual person about to put a dick in them. Otherwise, it wouldn't have made it to this trial, right? It wouldn't have been tried under these terms. Someone would have said, "Nah, fuck it. You just decided to kill this guy because you were at the bar and he said, 'Look, dude, I've got a dick,' and you thought, I'm going to beat him up and kill him in the alley after this." Then that's murder. But if you got all the way to the bedroom and he's sucking your cock off and then says, "Oh, by the way, I want to put my dick in you. I'm going to fucking just throw you on the bed and do that now," then maybe you've got reason to fear. Just putting that out there. Homophobia is not always a bad thing. The same as any other phobia is not necessarily always a bad thing. Okay, and I know there's other arguments for this, but again, I've laid this down in the same way that the feminists would lay it down if it was a guy about to penetrate a woman in a way she didn't want to have to be penetrated. And you can come back me with any fucking argument you like against this. But if you can't accept that a man has the same right as a woman to not be raped with someone's dirty, great fat dick, then fuck you. Queer LBGT 717. End LGBT homelessness now. Well, yeah, how about you end it for everyone? I did put some stuff in here, but I really don't give a shit. Because what they're asking for is just special treatment for people because they like to fuck people. Your choice of who you fuck is no reason for us to give you special benefits against homelessness. There are shitloads of homeless people out there who fuck exactly the people that they're expected to fuck, but as a dimorphic species, and they go homeless without any fucking extra special treatment for fucking the right people, dimorphically speaking. So no, get fucked. It's not our duty to pay for you to fuck Anyone you fucking like, and we give you a shelter to do so. Not my duty. Queer, LBGT, whatever, 718. It's a yes. What now? And this is where a couple of episodes ago I passed over all the fucking arguments I had against the people arguing against homosexual marriage, because at this point they got the fucking yes. It happened during this meeting, obviously, or just prior to it. So what the fuck was all the other garble? Queer, whatever. I should stop using the fucking word queer. I do not believe in queer. Queer is just a fucking attention-seeking word. LBG, and I should say GLB, which is the correct chronological order for this movement to have been in. T is not who you fuck, it is what you want to be when you fuck. I and Q and A, as they have listed here, are just bullshit. When you fuck somebody, you are either Alling, you are either G'ing, Alling, or being. And this was the men's homosexual movement, which means it is the gay men's movement. So G. The lesbians moved in on it and fucking walked all over it, making it GL. Then the lesbians tried to deny bi people their right to be involved because they were the fence sitters and they were smelly. I don't know what. There were so many fucking nasty things said about bisexual people when they were getting added to this. So I think in chronological order it should be the GLB. Fuck the lesbians. Why they get the front page? They were the ones who didn't like the gay guys or the bisexuals. They just fucking tried to get someone else's attention. In universities across Australia, it's still difficult to process change your name and your gender. Get fucked. Get fucked. It doesn't really matter. My wife has a big problem with the fact that my son's primary school manages to spell his name wrong on something. And she thinks that later in his life it might be hard to attribute those things to him as his education records. Now, I've had that surname all my life, so I'm quite used to even the bank giving me the wrong spelling, and it doesn't affect me at all. Well, it doesn't affect you to not fucking be able to change your gender and shit either, so get the fuck over it. It should also make it easier for you to track your history. Full stop. Even to the point where you decided to change. Oh dear, I decided to change during university, but look, when I started, I was definitely one of them. The LBG, the G, I'm going to get fucking used to doing this. GLB community is meant to be a safe place. Oh, hang on, don't forget the B in LBGT. Well, I hate to tell you, but it was the fucking lesbians who tried to drive out the B. It was the lesbians who fucking got really cut up about women who wanted dick, which is most women. Hey, I'll go back and remind you that I think Milo has a fair fucking argument for why he believes that lesbians don't exist. I've listened to his argument. I didn't just fucking go, oh, he doesn't like lesbians. No, he's actually got an argument for why he doesn't like lesbians. And I side with him. What he says meets the criteria of most lesbians I know. So, when you say, oh, we don't want the boys, maybe it's because you're worried you might like the dick too. I don't care. I don't care that you're upset by what I'm saying. Do you get the other idea, just in case you are? The GLB 7.21. More colour, more pride. Get fucked. Who cares? Look, the first thing I do, Pride Month in the city of Philadelphia. Who gives a fuck? You're an Australian union. Get fucked. But this is about them adding more colour, more pride campaign. Was to present the inclusion of people of colour. Yeah, this was back when they added a black and a brown line to the fucking flag. because the rainbow flag was meant to mean inclusion, but it wasn't inclusive enough. It didn't count for fucking black vag. How dare it not include a black vag? Or fucking straight Asian pubes. I mean, fucking Jesus. We should string a few of those on that flag too. Fucking hell. No. Get fucked. It's not needed. The student union are supporting the addition of, at this point, the addition of a brown and black line to the GLB flag. And it has no fucking place there. Because the colour of your skin is not your sexuality. It isn't. It really isn't. Now, you can prefer not to fuck people of certain skin textures. But that's fine. Because a vagina's a vagina. And you'd be the first people to admit that. Or a dick is a dick. And if it comes in brown or white, it doesn't matter. Right? You may have a preference for seeing one or the other. You may have a preference for smelling one or the other. Or tasting one or the other. Whatever the fuck preference it is, at the end of the day, a vagina is a vagina, a dick is a dick, and anything in between is fucked up. And for those of you who have genuine medical fucked upness, I'm not having a go at you, okay? You've got a medical problem. We've got to deal with that medical problem. These people are not talking about that. These people are trying to tap off your problems in the way that the lesbians tried to tap off the gay movement and tried to keep the boys out in case they fucking liked a dick on the way. Okay. Your dental dam, fine. Majority of safe sex education is targeted around penetrative sex, and often a lack of teaching into safe sex practices beyond that, such as how to protect yourself from STIs during the act of cunnilingus and analingus. Look, just don't lick people's arse out, right? No, look, don't give a shit what you're doing. And I've done some things myself. I'm not immune, but it is not your fucking school's job to protect you while you're going down on someone, right? It just fucking isn't. It's your responsibility what you do when you're going down on someone. Now, we could discuss the fact that guys going down on women is a major cause of throat cancer, and that if these bitches got and cleaned themselves up, and I'm going to put it that way, because why not? You'd fucking put it that way if it was a guy spreading a disease and giving you fucking throat cancer. You'd be all about the patriarchy and the male fucking horribleness. Well, if these bitches fucking got themselves tested and cleaned themselves up, they might prevent some throat cancer. And as to licking out arse, you probably get what you deserve. Look, I just don't care. Do your own fucking work looking after your own sex life. It is not the job of your educator to do your bedroom protection for you. You want them to come home with you and go, oh, hang on, before you lick that ass, here, we'll use this. We'll put some fucking, we'll put some bloody plastic wrap around it, okay? How about we put it in a plastic bag? I don't fucking know. I do, but I'm not getting into that. So yes, I don't give a fuck. It is not the job of anyone to supply dental dams or to tell you that you need to have dental dams or any fucking thing else. How about you look up your own sexuality? It's just for the record, when I was 15 and I started out, nobody told me anything. Between my girlfriend, who was experienced, and myself, we managed quite well, thank you, and we got all the things done that needed doing. Now, there have been a lot of changes in some of the dangers over the years, but it's still your job to work it out in the way it was my job to work it out. Going to spend a queer office. They're going to send a queer officer home with all the fucking queers to check out what they're doing, are you? GLB 7.23 Momentum. What next for queer activism? Don't give a fuck. Marriage equality campaign. Yeah. See, that's why I don't give a fuck, because it doesn't matter. You got it, and what you do with it? Nothing. You've got the highest divorce rates. You've got the shortest relationships. You have proved that it wasn't worth having. That's what you've done. By getting the legal right to marry, you prove that you're not fucking up for it. And you know why it is? And I really already knew this, and I supported this anyway, because I believe that everyone should have the same rights. But I don't know that I do support it anymore, because you don't fucking respect it. You don't. If you don't respect it, what the fucking point is it having it? Part of the idea was it was meant to be something of respect, and you don't fucking do it. Now, no, I just don't care. Fuck off. Support our intersex and non-binary students. No, fuck off. No one's business but their own. This is where it gets interesting. LBG or whatever. Train university staff to protect our queer identifying students. Why? You can't go to class. This is the point I was going to make in the last one, but that I lost, so I thought I'd just tell you to fuck off. I'll tell you to fuck off anyway. You live your sexuality. See, you think that straight people walk around all day going, I'm straight. They hold each other's hands going, look, we're straight. Keep it in your fucking face and tell you all about the straightness. Well, no, we don't. And we don't really... I know there was a time, but now is not that time. We don't give a fuck if you walk around holding each other's hands. But you have to hold your fucking sexuality up as the most important thing about you. What the fuck are you getting an education for? You don't need one. The important thing about you is that you fuck someone. Well, it's never been what's important about the rest of society, right? Yeah, yes, when you're a teenager, you're a virgin or you're not, but that's just child's play. Adults do not walk around waving their sexuality around. They worry about their bills, their jobs, their kids, their mortgage, their whatever, right? There's a million things in life to concern ourselves about. We go home, keep our sexuality in our bedroom most of the time, although you lot have helped to drag that out into the public a lot more than it used to be. And I don't think it needs to be. I'm polyamorous. And I don't want anyone fucking knowing. I don't want anyone giving a damn what's going on in my bedroom. But you've made it so that polyamorous people need everyone to fucking know what's going on in their bedroom. Well, no, we don't. And I imagine there's a hell of a lot of gay people who don't need people know what's going on in their bedroom. But the people like you need to be noticed. You need everybody to be looking through the bedroom window and checking out what you're doing. Fuck off. The Australian Human Rights Commission, which was extremely feminist and who gives a flying fuck. I'm not sure what the state of it is at the moment. We don't hear about it anymore. But the Australian Human Rights Commission at the time of this 2 years ago, 2017, was extremely heavily led by a feminist who was pushing all this fucking feminist theory. So anything they said back then, you can fucking ignore. It was all just bullshit. It's found that queer identifying people will face high levels of discrimination and abuse in their lifetime. Yeah, because when you wave your fucking sexuality around at me and demand I respect you, I'm going to tell you to fuck off. It's that simple. I happen to know the timeline for all this shit, right? I was introduced to anti-feminism by my mother back in the 1980s. She had a problem with a particular feminist writer who had a problem with at-home mothers, and my mother had always been an at-home mother until my father's motor vehicle accident when she stepped up to the plate, because that's what you do in relationships. But it doesn't matter, does it? It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're all full of shit. You want to wave your fucking dick in our face and pretend like it's not there. And I'm just not fucking interested. 2. Beyond Blue found in their most recent report, Beyond Blue, by the way, are now a waste of space. Absolutely a fucking waste of space. Feminists took over. A feminist ex-prime minister got put in charge, and it is now fucked up. Beyond Blue, when it started out, was a men's mental health charity. And when you look at their front page of their website now, men come about 6th or 8th on the page after men, women, LBGT, after women, children, LBGT, all those other fucking things. It has just been fucked up because they let feminists take over. There is no place you should ever let feminists take over anything. They bog it down with the doctrine, it loses its focus, and it goes from fucked to fucked and to further fucked. Anyway, I don't really care that you are being discriminated against. You largely bring this on yourselves. You do. You live by your sexuality. Then the rest of us are just going, keep that fucking filthy shit away from us. We keep our filthy shit away from you. Because we're not even saying that your shit's more filthy than ours. It's just you fucking need us to know about it. And we don't want to. I want curtains in my window on my bedroom to stop the neighbours fucking looking in, right? Because what I fucking do is filthy shit, and I don't need you to look at my filthy shit, and I don't want to look at yours. Now, maybe I've gone down a particularly harsh line calling it filthy shit, but I don't give a fuck. It makes the point. You create the situation, because it's all about you. This student union document has LBGT all through it, and women and feminism. Do you see the men waving their dicks? There's no men's department. There's no, we should wave our dick every Thursday for an hour to show our masculinity. No, none of that's in here. The case for manspreading, the case for woman learning, the opposite of mansplaining, just in case anyone's unaware. There's a reason why you mansplain to someone. They probably need woman learning. That got me kicked off a forum for the Australian atheists, and I'm never going to look back on that. I now own it on a t-shirt. Addressing gender and sexuality in changing the course. No, just... This is why we're going to get through this quick, because I don't care. They found that 44% of survivors identified as bisexual. 30. What's it saying here is that when you've had a fucked up life earlier on, you're more likely to end up fucked up later. That's a pretty damning thing, really. That means this is not a normal state for human beings. This is something that happens to you when your life has fucked you up. Do you understand? The argument you're putting forward is not good. What you're saying is, these numbers of people, they identify as these things because they've been fucked up. Thanking generations of queer activists. You mean all the ones you now call TERFs? Yeah, I don't care. This year's been a rough year for queer students. That's because there's no fucking thing as a queer student. There's only attention seeking. Alright, what do I underline this for? Unveiled thanks to a generation of queer activists. Yeah, you've got to call them queer now, don't you? Because really what you're doing is sapping off the best of the GLB movement and demanding that that's all yours and you did such a wonderful job. Guess what? You didn't. You did fuck all. You are just attention seekers. The 40th Mardi Gras parade. Why? I guess you could be involved in discussing your involvement in the Mardi Gras parade. Do I see any mention of the straight pride parade or involving yourself in a straight pride parade? No, I don't. But, I guess you've got to do these things it's a huge commercial outfit, and there's money to be made, and notice to be, and fucking brownie points to be earned for being there. Woohoo! 7.29, collective needs to connect. Due to this autonomy, many queer collectives. Oh, right. So what you've got to do is make sure that all the other student unions have a queer section now, because it'd be terrible to not have one. Fucking, you're a minority of a minority of a minority, but it'd be sad if you didn't have representation, wouldn't it? I mean, you couldn't just be represented as humans or students. You have to be recognised as being fucking attention seekers. Of course you do. It's the whole point, isn't it? 7.3. Don't forget the I. Intersex people are born with sexual or physical sexual characteristics that do not fit typical definitions of male or female bodies. This is a word of truth in this document. This is exactly what intersex people are. And this is not what you're talking about when you add the I to LBGTIQA. Because you are not saying, we'll defend the people with whatever syndrome. Because intersex people often have a syndrome that is caused by their chromosomal issues. Now, there are people born intersex who within a short while after being born develop the correct genitalia for their body. But that's again not what you're talking about. You think this goes on into university. Well, get fucked. I'm all for supporting people with medical problems. I'm not for supporting people with invented ones. And talking of invented problems, this one is a real stinker. Queer LBGTIQA 7.3. Men menstruate. Sanitary bins in men's bathrooms. I have to say that I have never menstruated in my life. Never. Now, I know for some people this is probably very difficult to understand, but I don't have the fucking equipment for it. I'm not biologically female. Men do not menstruate. Men defines people who are biologically male. Menstruation is for people who are biologically female. Fucking hell. Trans students continue to face... Trans students, look, can we just call them what they are? Predators? Yeah, I'm going to upset a few people with that one, I know. And I just don't give a shit, because it is coming clear, right? I said it earlier in this, and I have said it for many, many years, that one of the problems the GLB face is living your sexuality. Living... And your your sexuality is just the thing about you that you have chosen to focus on. You could have chosen to focus on being the person with 4 toes, or the person with blonde hair, or whatever in the fuck else you wanted to focus on. But you've focused on your sexuality as something about you that makes you specialer than everyone else. I'm with the people who think that we shouldn't have biological males going into bathrooms with female children. Okay? That's all I'm going to say on this issue. Get stuffed. And if you menstruate, there's a place for you that already has sanitary bins. You can fucking LARP at being a man all you like, but until you get the gear removed that makes you female, that allows you to menstruate. This is something we men are not even allowed to do. We can't. It's just not possible. Right? Our bodies are so fucking different in that regard that if I wanted to menstruate, I couldn't. I'm quite happy not to, thank you. But I grew up without it. Hey? I know women who are happy to menstruate because it says something about them. It says something about the state of their being and their life. In fact, I know women who don't menstruate so nicely, and they get upset about not being able to. So, yeah. If you're menstruating, you've got all the equipment of a biological female. Go to the right fucking toilet. You know what? We talk about this often, biological men going into the toilets of biological female children. But I don't want biological women coming into the fucking bathroom watching me stand there at the fucking trough either. If I wanted women to come and stare at me at the trough, I'd fucking invite my partners in. I don't want fucking strangers in there watching me having a fucking leak. Guys don't even look at one another while they're having a piss. Right? You get in there, you point it at the fucking trough, you get it over with as quickly as possible, wash your hands, get the fuck out of there. You don't say anything to any other guy until you've left that fucking room. You barely even note them at the sink to wash your hands. What makes you think I want a biological female in the fucking toilet with me? Just so you know, this is actually something that's happened to me. My partner has gone to the toilet with me to watch. And it's something I don't fucking need. Okay? Who needs a fucking audience? 7.32. We're just here to pee. Nope. Get fucked. Gender neutral bathrooms. You know who gets most upset about those? The biological women. But I think we biological fucking men should note that we don't want you looking over our shoulder either. We're equal, what now? Well, we've always been equal. We've been equal for a long time. But you're talking about same-sex marriage, and I'm saying get fucked. Because you don't respect the institution. You do not respect yourselves or your relationships enough to have this institution available to you. The statistics play it out. You are the most divorced group of people. You are the fastest divorced group of people. And most of you don't even use this institution. It is an extremely small minority. So, I don't think you needed it. I think de facto relationships were quite fine. I have one of those. Works for me. Pronouns matter. No, they fucking don't. That's it. All I've got to say on that one. And when you tell me that I have to use your pronouns, I'm going to call you fuckhead. That's going to be your pronoun. Fuckhead. Hey, fuckhead. See that fuckhead over there? Did you know fuckhead was around here the other day? I'm going to use that pronoun for you every time someone demands that I call them by something other than he, she, or fucking it. Right? You come and tell me that you're a non-binary Z and I'm going to call you a fuckhead. Because respect is what's important. Respect. And you don't earn it by telling me what pronouns I'm supposed to use for you. I will not respect you when you make demands of me and the language I use. I never went into the military. I could have gone into the military. It was an option for me. With my trade, it was actually, I probably could have gone in for officer training or something. I could have gone into the military, but it's not me. Because I do not take people telling me what I am going to do. I do not take orders well. I have never taken orders well. I buck against it. One of my partners just never learns that. It does make it an interesting life. But you tell me what I'm going to do, you tell me what I have to do, and I will call you a fuckhead. When I was in my teens, I was a St. John Ambulance cadet. They threw me out quite regularly because I would not take orders. But I also had some important roles in our division. So, they kept inviting me back. 7.35. Criminalise gay conversion therapy. Why? Why? I do not believe that gay conversion therapy is something legislated in law. I do not believe our courts are sending people to undertake these courses in the way that they will instruct a male victim of domestic violence to go and do a male behaviour changing therapy and tell him he is the perpetrator, the cause of any violence in his life, because victim blaming is fine if it's a man. But I do not believe that the courts are sending people to be gay converted or converted from the gay. It doesn't matter. I do not believe that there is any legal requirement. I do believe that the people who make this choice make it because they have their own uncertainties in life, and it is their free choice to do so. It is not your job to say they can't. Now, whether they're making a mistake or not, that's for them to work out. And as we have seen, some of the people who do these conversions are actually gay, and after years of doing this to other people, they come out and say, but it didn't even work for me. Then maybe at some point we will reach that critical point where enough people will go, this is not working, and it will disappear into the backlogs of history or whatever in the fuck will happen to it. But this is a matter of people's freedom of choice, be it because of religion or whatever in the fuck it is. It doesn't matter. It is not your fucking business. Keep the fuck out of it. All credible medical psychological organisations in Australia who have formed policy regarding gay conversion therapy agree that it does not work. I don't care. There are a whole lot of things. Crystal healing doesn't work. Fucking energy healing doesn't work. Spirit healing doesn't work. But people still get to go and do these things. They get to make those choices to be fucking pathetic pieces of loser shit on their own and support these funny fucking money-grabbing twits on their own. At least I can see that the gay conversion therapy has a genuine reason to exist, in the same way that fucking the T is written in every time you have written LBGTI. Because there are people who think they are trans, and there are people who think that the best thing they can do for themselves is cut bits off themselves and chemically castrate themselves. Well, they can do gay therapy too, and it probably does them a shitload less harm. Anyway, that's it. We've run out. I'm not going on. I will not be doing the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander section because it will just drive me fucking nuts. Because this shit, I have a historically close connection to some of this crap, and I still live in a very Aboriginal dominated part of this country, and an especially high Aboriginal dominated region of where I am. And what the things I see people like this student union calling out for are the sorts of things that cause problems. They don't resolve them. So I'm not going there. I'm not doing that. I've done 4 parts on this fucking document. You can read it yourself. The shortcuts are linked as usual. They are also, or if I can, I will have already backed them up onto what do I use? What am I using? Oi! Fucking who knows? It's all in the thing down below. Read it your bloody selves. I've had enough of reading this shit. That was the LBGTQWZYXYPMLNOP section of this document that we were doing, the NUS policy shit. I hope you didn't enjoy it either, because I fucking didn't. Alright, I've been the Anti-Theocrat. May your gods remain fictional, and I will see you in the next one.